This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to the program. I'm Roby Brock. We're glad to have you with us. There were fireworks on Capitol Hill this week in the day-long testimonies from Judge Brett Kavanaugh, nominated by President Donald Trump for the U.S. Supreme Court, and an accuser from his past, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, who claimed he sexually assaulted her in their high school days. The testimony from Dr. Ford was riveting. Judge Kavanaugh's denial and defense seemed to sway the White House to stick with the president's nomination. We'll discuss the politics from Washington, D.C. later, but more importantly, the emotional and powerful message that came from this past week's turn of events were the many Americans, overwhelmingly women, who told stories from their past that I am certain they would prefer to forget. Let there be no doubt, there was a national moment where the scars of survivors of sexual assault and abuse were healed to some degree by the ability to speak openly and freely in public about how these women have coped with their ordeals. Politics aside, because many of the words I'm about to share with you don't involve politics, they're about being human. My Facebook and social media pages were filled with stories from women I've known since high school and college who finally felt liberated to share their tragedies with friends and strangers. Their stories don't require judgment, they require listening. I want to share part of one of them with you that helped me understand this week's moment in history from a different perspective. A friend of mine from college who gave me permission to share her name, but who I choose to not share her name, wrote about her experience being raped her freshman year in college in the 1980s. She told the police about her date gone awry and was told she probably didn't have a chance of any kind of conviction. The police officer told her that her story would be called into question and that some young man's reputation would be ruined over a bad date. She later found her footing through therapy and process and advocacy, but she did not speak to anyone, not a soul, for 20 years about this ordeal. Here's what she wrote on her Facebook page. What I've learned from my own journey is this: everyone deals with trauma differently. Some remember their trauma in vivid, excruciating detail. Some block it out and can barely tell you broad strokes. Some go into a deep depression. Some get extremely angry, and some move forward as if nothing happened. Some talk about it all the time. Some don't ever talk about it at all. Some come forward immediately. Some wait many years, and some never do. Recovering from trauma is personal and individual, and each of us will deal with it differently. As much as you may think you know how you'd react, I can tell you that I didn't react the way I would have thought I would. How in the world is someone supposed to act when they've been raped? I don't know, and I have been raped. Those are her words. It's powerful words, a very powerful human moment. Let's not forget that regardless of your politics, the ability to bring these traumatic events into a public conversation are helpful to us all understanding each other much better, and we need more of that. We're back with more after this.